Be ready. 5 seconds. Start. As Jharkhand Mukti Morcha (JMM) leader Hemant Soren was sworn in on Sunday for his second term as State Chief Minister in a function attended by an array of leaders from nationwide opposition parties, the symbolism was unmistakable. Following the heavy losses in the 2019 Lok Sabha election that cemented the Bharatiya Janata Party as the hegemonic force in Indian politics, there have been three major state assembly elections in Maharashtra, Haryana, and Jharkhand. While the BJP fell short of a majority in Haryana and was denied a return to power in Maharashtra due to its pre-election ally, the Shiv Sena, changing coalitions, it was in Jharkhand that the party faced a decisive defeat. The JMM Congress Rashtriya Janata Dal coalition bagged 47 out of 81 assembly seats largely due to a clear mandate against the Raghubar Das led BJP, especially from the state's tribal and rural voters, even as some urban voters also switched allegiance to the former. The previous regime had earned itself unpopularity by trying to tweak tenancy and land holding laws, raising fears among tribals of land displacement. It is noteworthy that the first decision of Mr. Soren's cabinet was to drop all cases registered against those who were involved in protests in 2017 termed the Pahalgadi movement over these pieces of legislation. This was clearly a nod to those voters who had registered their dissent with the previous regime by voting against it. Mr. Soren and his cabinet face a humongous task in addressing socio-economic concerns in the state, which suffers from high rates of poverty and unemployment. Jharkhand has the dubious distinction of registering starvation deaths in recent years, with food production and scarcity a major concern. The failure in welfare delivery by the previous regime was largely due to its focus on streamlining welfare by weeding out fake beneficiaries through the flawed use of the Aadhaar biometrics rather than universalizing and expanding the public distribution system and ensuring that schemes such as the Integrated Child Development Services and midday meals for children are better implemented. Without a thoroughgoing emphasis on rural and tribal welfare, Jharkhand will not attain its developmental goals. The coalition government can take lessons from Rajasthan and Himachal Pradesh in the north and southern states in using welfare models to improve development indices. Its other challenge is that the state is among those in the country which have low GSDP growth, especially in employment intensive sectors and high government debt ratios. With a rich mineral base, governments have been tempted in the past to utilize this for development but have ended up being ragged by corruption, rent seeking, and poor resource capacities. The JMM led coalition should reorient itself to the original premise of the movement that led to the formation of Jharkhand in the first place, bringing in a suitable development model that benefits the people rather than being saddled by the resource curse. On Saturday night in Moscow, Koneru Humpy finally won a world title in senior chess. She was expected to win one long ago given her talent, single-mindedness and the ability to work hard. Her triumph at the Women's World Rapid Championship is the biggest achievement by an Indian after Vishwanathan Anand's many world titles, and it makes India as one among the few countries to have produced both male and female world rapid champions. Even more importantly, the world rapid title could be a big boost to her bid to win the classical World Chess Championship. The classical format is rightly considered the real thing in chess. It is a bit like test cricket, while rapid and blitz segments are more like one-day internationals and T20. The classical variant gives enough time for a player before making a move to minimize chances of error and fortune. Humpy herself prefers it to the shorter formats, so this title is all the more commendable. In Moscow, she displayed nerves of steel in the tie-break games against China's Li Tingji as she emerged the champion after coming from behind. The 32-year-old had begun the tournament as the 13th seed, but her victory shouldn't be too much of a surprise given the quality of her chess and her form, having done exceedingly well at the FIDE Women's Grand Prix in Russia and Monaco. She is now leading the Grand Prix part of the cycle for the next World Championship. The World Rapid title in Moscow is great, but only when she wins the classical world title would she have lived up to her true potential. Right from the time she first made headlines, winning the World Under-10 Championship in 1997, she has been busy proving she was India's best bet in chess after Anand, winning the World Junior Under-20 Championship at 14 and Asian Boys Under-12 Championship. Women are free to compete with men and becoming the second woman in history to cross the magical 2600 mark in Elo points are only some of her achievements in one of the true remarkable careers in Indian sport. Somehow, winning the World Classical Chess Championship has eluded her. She played the world title match once and the semi-finals of the World Championship three times. Her best chance came in the 2011 World title match, but she was beaten by the Ho Yifan despite being seeded above the Chinese. Humpy has every reason to believe that she can cross the final frontier too. Now, though, is the time to celebrate the greatest moment of the year for Indian sport after PV Sindhu won the Badminton World Championship 4 months ago.